I? Jerry, my dear friends, welcome back. Oh my gosh, my hair is doing a thing. Alright. Jerry, my dear friends, welcome back. We're doing a Bible study. It's probably going to be a short one. So, let's get into our verse of the day. Again, hashtag Bible app is the app I use. Every day, I get a verse at 6 a.m. It's usually around about the time that I wake up in the morning. I get a verse of the day, and that's the time I set it up for. You can also get cool little stories. Not stories. In the mornings, or every Sunday, it gives you Bible studies. So if you are ever looking to, if it will... Nope, it's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. If I do this. It gives you these stories, and you can scroll down, and you can pick what type of story you want. I always lean towards Genesis. I'm a Genesis girl. I love me some Genesis. But let's get into our verse of the day. Our verse of the day is chapter 1. Haha, that's kind of funny. Chapter 1, verses 29. God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb yielding seed which is on the surface of the earth, and every tree which bears fruit yielding seeds. It will be your food." I love me some food talk. Sometimes food talk in the Bible sounds really delicious, while sometimes, sometimes it is straight up nasty. Got my chains all messed up. Alright, I heard there's a new season of Sea and Thieves, so I thought we could do a Bible study while figuring stuff out. I heard that you can, like, get new cannons. I wonder if you can buy, if I have to buy these cannons.
Not again.
So rude. Do I have to buy these cannons from you? No, I do not have to buy it. I will figure it out. Meh. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Let's go hunting. Let's go fishing. I want to do something short. I'll raise my flag. Let's go. Let's go fishing. Something nice. Something quiet. Ah! Okay. I need to get back on Order of the Souls. Fishing voyage. Oh! I just unlocked that one. I didn't know I unlocked it. Alright, we're gonna go to that location. We're going. Courtesy Coral. Alright. Let's do it. So I've been reading right now Exodus, as I've been saying the past two. Sorry, I broke my nail. I'm not gonna do that. I broke my nail, so my nails are a little off. I have been reading Exodus. I very much enjoy the Old Testament stuff. I love the history, everything that has to do with, like, getting into the Bible. I love it. My favorite. But can I dive to this location? Am I diving? There we go. One of the things that the more you get into it, the more you're figuring out how some traditions have faded or come into Christian traditions. Now, we don't do... Oh my gosh, I just saw a Megalodon. That's wicked. That's cool. That's cool. I didn't know you could see Megalodons while diving. Right now, I read over Passover and how Passover came to be. It was when the Exodus happened and all that stuff. Very interesting. Sweet. That's epic. find fishies. It's definitely interesting to me. I've always been into, excuse me. I've always been into history and stuff, so I was definitely interested in reading how, um, those go into play. Where are the fishies? Fishies. Fishy, fishy, fishies. But I definitely found that a lot really interesting. I'm right now reading about how the firstborns have to do in the culture. I'm a little confused on it. I might do some more research. Again, you're not going to understand every single thing you read. Again, no one understands every single thing. That's why we have the infinite, all-knowing God, because he understands before we understand. Okay, stop, 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 stop. And like one of the things that kind of sort of ties into this is that God's gonna understand something way before you understand. In fact, you could be 8 years old and not understand something, and he already knows and understands the planned. Like, he might set this in motion. That's not gonna work. Like, one thing that I am learning right now is God opens doors and closes doors. He will just open a door just to close it 5 minutes later. Or 10 years later. And it's hard to understand why. Oh, dang it. No, I forgot. Like, he'll close it. And then just for 10 years in time, he'll close it. Or 3. It's a hard thing to understand. But there's a lesson within there. No, I don't want you. I don't want you. I want these guys. This is one I wish I had. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this works. Like, sometimes he'll open a door and close a door just to have it closed again, and you'll not understand why. It's something hard to understand. Like, recently I have been having doors closed to people that I will admit I was completely in the wrong. But when I go out to apologize to them and I want to make things right, not have a friendship or a relationship, I'll go and say, you know what, I was in the wrong. Let's see if we can talk this out. They're just like, you know what, no. Mm-mm. It just, he opens a door just for you to learn that there are some people in this world that no matter how humbled you can be, or how humble, because something of being a Christian is, you learn is to be humbled. And sometimes being humbled. I hate that new feature. Sometimes when you're humbled, you learn that it's hard. Like, sometimes I don't like how it feels. I feel terrible. Like, on this game the other day, I learned that I'm too quick to act. Instead, I need to slow down. Now, obviously, some of you who watch me play are probably like, no, you're pretty slow. No, I'm too quick to act in the sense that sometimes I'll just start attacking. I attacked, my own team the other day, or an alliance team that joined us on accident, and the humility I felt. It was a good humility I needed to learn, that I needed to learn to slow down. Being humbled does not feel good, but when you sit down and look at it and go, okay, I need to learn that lesson, that's when it kicks. Like, that's something I need to learn. I'm too quick to act. I'm too quick to attack. I don't take the time to look and see, okay, is this the team that is allianced with us? And if that team ever watches my streams, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. We are. I do not like the new sound effects in this game. But humility is something that you learn. Something you have to learn to be a Christian. Or just in general. See, the one thing that I'm definitely learning is that to come to God, you don't have to be the person that you want to be to come to God. No, you just come to Him automatically. And He'll make you that person. Come running to Jesus and He'll make you that person. Like, I tried to make myself the person that He was gonna make me. And then I sat down and I was like, no, this is a process. Like, some people seem to think that you're gonna wake up one morning and be sinless. You're gonna stop sinning, you're gonna stop cursing, you're gonna, like, know every word of the Bible. Okay, to those people, it's okay to take time. Wow, that's really pretty. It's a really pretty fish. Like, okay. This thing took years to be written. Years to be written. And it took many generations to write it. And also, the people in this book, the prophets that God chose, all of them struggled with sin. All of them struggled with some sort of sin. Some sort of sin. Like, David was an adulterer. Yeah, King David, the one that defeated Goliath. In fact, he had some soldiers killed his mistress's wife. Or mistress's wife, excuse me. His mistress's husband. Or had a plan. I don't remember how exactly the story goes. My point is that he had a plan to get rid of the husband. Like, he wasn't 100%. He didn't wake up and go, yeah, I'm a prophet. I'm gonna be sinless. No, he is 100% a human. And I'm not saying that you're good if you sin. No, you're gonna sin. Your goal is to not sin, though. My pastor said something a while back, and it really got my attention. If the devil isn't after you, that's a bad sign. So sometimes you gotta think about, okay, because the devil will chase you. He will chase you like a freaking marathon. Because his whole argument is, yeah, I know I can't get you, God, and I know I can't get your son, but I can get your children. That's his whole argument. That's his whole argument. Oh yeah. Okay, where are those fish? They're over there. That's his whole argument. I mean, when you read the book of Job, that's the whole thing that the Job talks about, is that the devil says the only reason that your child follows you is because you've blessed him. Well, A, not true. Which, if I ever have friends like Job, um, again, closing and opening doors. Hold on. Need to get to these fish. Give me a second. Wow. Gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Oh gosh. So, if I ever have friends like Job, that's an open and close the door sign. For one, okay. Excuse me, hold on. Sorry, I just got out of the shower and my hair is like starting to stick to my head. Okay, Job's friends. Job loses everything. So he decides to, go take a break, go to get some air, go rest quietly and pray. Job's friends, his people that he depended on, decide to go and visit him, which his wife goes and tells Job's friends, hey, he's in the field. He could really use some support. Job's friends go, you're living a pretty tough life right now. Maybe you should go and blaspheme against God or, go call him out. Why is that the first thing out of your mouths? Of course, I'm not quoting it word for word, but Job's friends are terrible friends. And that's exactly like a representation of closing and opening doors, because these friends, they've been here, and the moment that everything goes wrong for Job, they're so quick to say, well, you're living a pretty bad life. Like, instead, they should have been the friends going, what do you need? What do you need from us? We'll be your friends. Hey, you guys stick tight to God. There's a plan. There's something going to happen at the end of this. Nope, Job's friends were so quick to say, your life sucks. What the heck? I love Job's story. It's one of my favorites. It talks about how to get through tough times. But Job's friends, they're terrible friends. Terrible. I do not like them. Sorry, some of you might be like, oh yeah, but Job's friends, their whole lesson. Yeah, there's a whole lesson with Job's friends. Like, yeah. The whole point of, like, the lesson that Job was teaching is that if you only come to God when you get blessings, and you're only thankful to him when you have blessings, and you leave as soon as you get blessings, then yeah, you're Job's friends. That's exactly what they proved in that moment, is that they're only going to follow God if he blesses them. Exactly what he proved, or their friends proved. Job being there, praying every day, and being there. Can I find... There's like a verse that always sticks out to me. Psalms, that's not Job. Job, where are you? Job. There's like a verse or something that I just freaking love in Job, and I need to like write it down. I suck at remembering verses, but I know where they're from. I know where they're at. Hold on. Make sure that I am not missing anything. Okay. There's a big one behind me, right? Job. Esther. Esther's a good chapter. If you ever want something to read, Esther's pretty good. I love Esther. Esther's one of my second favorites. Second. Genesis will always be my favorite. Sorry. For those of you who are like, no, what? I'm trying to find this verse and it's gonna... I'm gonna have to use Google. We're using Google. Okay, 38. If you have your Bible, go ahead and look it up. Chapter 38, verses 4:11. Okay, this is like my favorite verse of all of Job. Genesis carries probably majority of my favorite verses. But Job, this is my favorite. Verses 4-11. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you have understandings who demetered its measurements. Surely you know, or who stretched the line upon it, on what you were its base sunk, or who laid its cornerstone. And when the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy, or who shut in the sea with doors, when it burst out from the womb, and when I made clouds its garments, and thick darkness its swaddling bands, and prescripted limits for it, and set bars and doors, and said, Thus for shall you come, and no farther, and here shall you proud waves be stayed. I personally love that verse because this is like a harsh reality for Job. He's like, whoa. God's like, you know what? I could strip everything away because you know what? I made it all. So yeah, if I take everything away, I made it all. And Job is just kind of stand there like, whoa, I love this. So, and this is after like Job has like been pleading and like talking to him and saying to him like, oh, so why? Because in Job we learn God would rather hear us say, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you putting me through this? Why are you doing all this to me? Why are you doing all this? He would rather us say in anger to him, why, than not even respond. He would prefer that. He would rather, he's our father, he wants communication between us. And Job describes it and puts it in perfect throughout his chapter perfectly. And when God answers him and says, you know what? I made it all. And he tells him, you came from dust, calling out to Genesis, because man was made from dust. And then dust is where you shall return. The curse that he put upon Adam, saying that you will return to the dust. My personal favorite. My favorite. There are so many callbacks to Genesis throughout the Bible, first chapter. One of my favorites. Whew, sorry, I just geeked out. I just geeked out like a nerd over that. I just geeked out. I'm so sorry. I just geeked out like a whole nerd over that. I'm so sorry. Ah! I don't have my phone. Or I don't have my controller. It's my personal favorite. Ooh, I hear my rod breaking. Put the chat up. Hey! Wow. Why aren't you putting up more of a fight, bro? Yeah. Got us some fish. I love Job. The chapter. Genesis will always be my favorite. Happy Saturday, Captain Randoms. But yeah, Job will always be my favorite. I think that's nice. Yeah. Sorry for those of you who just attended and I just geeked out. I just went to full geek out mode. Apologize. You get me talking on the callbacks to Genesis. God is the best foreshadower. Literally. He's the best foreshadower. There's so many foreshadows and calling back to everything. Isaiah has so many foreshadows of Jesus. Well, they're prophets. They're supposed to have foreshadows. But my point is that if people who are like, no, they're not really that good, I'm like, oh, this is pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. I'm pretty sure that Isaiah even predicts some of the miracles that Jesus is depicted to do. I might be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm still learning, but pretty sure that he does. The one thing that I've always been a fan of about the people, especially the prophets of the Bible, is that they're not your regular prophets or your regular people. Like, you're talking about some people who are wearing, like, animal clothes. They probably don't shower that often. They are, like, dressed as pure savages. And these are your prophets. Like, these guys are the prophets of the Bible. Like, Elijah he's badass. He is badass. And I don't mean to curse on here, but the only words that I could find to describe this man are those. This man walks into a palace. He just waltzes right in there in his animal pelts and everything. Waltzes right in there. And he tells the king, turn away from your evil ways. And the people just say, who are you? And then he walks back out. He just tells them, turn away from your evil ways and turn to God. Tells them to stop following Bala. I love these guys. I love a majority of the Old Testament, especially John the Baptist. John the Baptist, he's my man. He's my man. John the Baptist in the New Testament. He is... Let's see if I can find it. I think Matthew describes it better of what he looks like. Matthew does. Hold on. Got my chapters all mixed up. Of what John the Baptist looks like. The birth of Christ. Like, they go through what he looks like. Some of them go through Jesus. Okay, here it is. This is chapter 3, verses 4, and I'll tell you where it ends. Now John wore a garment of camel hair and a leather belt around his waist, and his food was locusts and wild honey. Then Jerusalem and all of Judea and all the regions about Jordan were going out to him, and they were baptized by him in the river Jordan, confessing their sins. So that ends at verses 5. But this man, this is Jesus' cousin. He is a prophet, preparing the way for Jesus. He wears camel hair and wears a leather belt around his waist, and he eats nothing but locusts and honey. This is the guy preparing the way for Jesus. So these Pharisees, when they saw him, they're like, no, this can't be him. This can't be the guy preparing the way. No, this is him. I love all these guys, especially when they describe what they wear. Oh, it's amazing. I personally am a huge fan. No, I didn't mean to do that. We got someone behind me? Oh, hi. Hi, kitty. Yeah, I'm a big fan of those descriptions. I'm a fangirl for the Bible. I need to go east. Yep. I really hope I don't run into any people. But yeah, I am a big fan And the biggest foreshadows are literally all over the Bible. People, and I always tell people if like they're looking for a book, I always recommend the Bible. You've got, you've got, um, gossip, baby mama drama, um, plotting of murders. You've got all this stuff happening in a freaking chapter. One chapter is literally sometimes all of that in the Old Testament. Now you get to the New Testament, it's a little calmed down, but what happens in the New Testament is stuff that brings you to your tears because it's heart throbbing, it's emotional. You're crying because some of the things that are happening, you want to cry because there are people like who are rejoicing, coming back. There's a verse that people tend to take too serious, and I hope that I can explain it. Or, well, not too serious. They tend to take it wrong. I hope I can explain it. So there is a... Oh gosh, now I'm blinking on what they're called. Gentile woman who comes to Jesus, and she says her daughter is sick and she needs to be healed. And Jesus and her exchange, while they're talking, they're exchanging conversations and all that stuff. And Jesus says to her, "For even the dogs deserve food." Or even the dogs deserve the scraps, and they're even well fed and taken care of. I think, if I can put this correctly, what is actually and what he is meaning is Gentiles in a Hellenistic city. People, if you were a Gentile, like other religions, or if you were in a Jerusalem city and you were a Gentile, you were viewed very wrong. Like if you were Greek and you were living in a Jew city, or if you were a Jew living in a Greek city, you were viewed like you were looked down upon. So what he was saying to her is that yes, even you deserve to be healed. Like he says, "Come to me." He told the Gentiles, and that's like majority of what happens to Jesus is that he says to the Israelites, "Well, y'all don't want me, but the Gentiles want me, so I'm gonna go pray to them, or I'm gonna go teach to them." So I hope I can put that in a better perspective for you guys. I don't like that. I don't like that those birds are flying near me. Because that's... He's saying that even the dogs deserve to eat. So saying even the Gentiles deserve to eat. He's not saying that they're worthless and they're disgusting. No, he's saying that to the Jews, that yes, you still feed your dogs, so the Gentiles still deserve to eat. They still deserve my healings. I don't only help you. I hope I put that in perspective better, or said it better. I feel like I'm still saying it wrong. It's a thing that like you read, and once you read it, you understand it better. I don't like that those birds were following me. That makes me nervous. Yeah. I hope I put that in a better perspective for you guys. Because living in a Hellenistic city, that's what those cities were called, with mixed religions and mixed people. That's what they were called. They typically weren't really good for people. People didn't like other people, there were attacks. Greeks didn't like the Jews because both of them used sacrifices. Both of them sacrificed to, both of them did sacrifices to their god. Usually, the Jewish people would clean up their sacrifices because they'd use every piece of the lamb. Greeks, they just left a mess. So, typically, the Greeks and the Jews didn't get along. They usually didn't get along that well. It's said that they didn't get along. Now, do I have written information? Nope. But I would assume that if I had a religion that I had to live next to, and I walked out the next day and I just saw, like, animal guts that had been out for a couple days, I probably wouldn't get along with that religion. Probably. That's an assumption, though. So, next week we are starting to stream Wednesday and Sunday. I'm gonna try to get into a rhythm of either doing Wednesday or Sunday at 6. I'm gonna try. And we'll go over whatever you guys want. So my Instagram is right above me. So if you guys want to press that and like say, hey, I would like to go over this chapter, I will read that chapter. Try my best to, you know, go over it, hit on what you want. Ah! Oh no, I missed it. I missed it. No. Okay, it's okay, I can fix it. Nope. But I will go over that. If you guys want to go over a chapter, I will try my best to go over that chapter and see what you guys find. I'm gonna turn these in and I'll probably end the stream right there. Sunday or Wednesday. We'll see which one works. Nope, stop. Turn that way. Okay, go a little. Okay, there we go. There we go. Parking job. Successful. Parking job successfully done. No! Oh, if I can get to him, that'd be awesome. Ha! I can't read. No, I don't want to be on the roof. I think that's good enough. Alright. So. Why am I looking up? Why am I looking up? Here you go, bro. Thank you. Ah, no! Yeah. But yeah, if you guys have any, I just heard a really loud noise and now I'm scared. Okay, I'm starting to hear noises. If someone's messing with me, I'm gonna cry. Y'all are gonna see a grown woman cry on stream. Wow. There you go. Yeah, you're gonna see a grown woman cry on stream. Dang it! Let me on the ladder. I mean, usually I'm pretty nice. I carry extra stuff on my boat for people. But, yeah, Wednesdays, Sundays, we'll give it a try. And Instagram, private message me and say, hey, you know, I'd like you to go over Chapter Matthew or touch something on this base. Go for it. I will try my best to... What just happened? Ah! I'll try my best. We'll start at 6, hopefully. Hopefully. If you aren't following me on Instagram, you don't have to if you don't want to. Understandable. But it's at the top. Myths with the Minotaur. Up at the top. You guys want to know a fun fact about me? I'm actually terrified of the water. I'm legit terrified of the water, yet I play a game where I have to sail on a boat in the water. That's a fun fact about me that y'all just learned. Okay. Alright, 2 more fish. But yeah. You guys don't ever have to follow me on something. If you ever miss a video, I always post them on my YouTube video, or try. Sometimes I miss the date, and I'm sorry. Ah! Okay. As fish. As fish. We are pirates, sail the seven seas, we are pirates. We hunt, we... Alright, guys. I gotta take the flag down. Because I don't want to sink my ship. Alright, guys. That's all I got for you today. Thanks for joining me for these little missions where we talk about stuff. But... oh gosh, I got a sore throat. Sorry. We are... but I hope you guys enjoy. I am gonna try this week to do Wednesday or Sunday, 6 o'clock, as usual. Someone I follow, Mikey, hold on. If you guys look him up, I'm gonna say this every time I'm on stream. Every time I'm on stream, I'm gonna say this. Because I'm, like, extremely proud. Or, well, I'm amazed by this. Mikey... what is his name? I, like, see the Mikey, and I think he has a G in it. He will be doing a glass charity event May 30th to May 30th. I have it right here. May 30th, 5 to 9 on Twitch, Eastern Time. So, those of you who would like to attend, please attend, and go Mikey with his charity event for children. He's raising awareness for, I forgot what type of children, but I'm so proud of him. Jerry, my dear friends, God bless, and have a blessed day. We'll go out in prayer, like always. I haven't done it in such a while. I'm so sorry, my dear friends. So, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation. Deliver us from evil. Deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever. In Jesus' name, I pray, amen. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Okay, this has been an amazing stream. Join me Saturday or Sunday. We'll see what works best. 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock Saturday, Wednesday or Sunday. Oh my gosh, I can't say it. But private message me on Instagram. It's up above. If you want me to go over a chapter, please, or have a question, private message me on Instagram. I will go over the chapter. You guys don't have to follow me. You can just send me a private message. I'm never gonna force you to follow me. I'm not one of those like subscribe people. So, Cherry, my dear friends, God bless. I don't know what else to say. I love having y'all around. Alright, God bless, my dear friends, and I hope you have a blessed day. See y'all in the 7 seas.